hit Control Print Screen, it's going to take and make a picture of whatever's on both those monitors. And then you can save it and use it. If you hit Alt Print Screen, it takes a picture of whatever current tab you are working on the computer. Does anybody know of any others? Ways to get a quick picture off of your screen?
Like the Windows Alt Print Screen automatically saves the one that you have active to a certain folder, and I can't remember which one it is.
Okay, what's that key combo?
It's the Alt Windows button print screen.
Okay, so through those three. Alt, Windows, Print Screen. I didn't know that one. So if you have an active picture, is that correct, Andy? It will make a copy of it. Or does it save it?
It saves it to documents, pictures, screenshots.
Okay.
Like there's a folder for it.
Okay.
Let me see.
There is the snapping tools that comes default in Windows. Snapping tools.
Yeah, it's called Snippet. Yeah, Snippet. Do you guys, well, we'll come back to Snippet because I do want to show you where that one's at. Maybe we'll have Majid show it. All right, so we've got a picture in here. Now, the reason I got into that, because I'll tell you, if I'm doing I don't know, something unique like a skylight, and I wanted somebody to see a picture of it, I would go to the website of that skylight. They're going to have a picture of it on there, aren't they? Yeah, I can go to a catalog and take a look at bolts. They're going to have a picture of it. I can then make a picture of that, drop it into my drawing as a visual aid. You can do all of that. You can do text off of it and make pictures out of it and bring it in. It saves you a boatload of work if you're under a time frame. All right, now when you get this, first thing you got to know is how this thing's going to print. If you plan on doing that. So if you go to page 882, there are 3 settings of image frame that deal with the plotting of this character. Okay? And I want you to highlight these or something because if you're ever dealing with pictures, you need these. So the command's image frame, you have to type it in, and then you've got a setting of 0, 1, or 2. Again, this is dependent on the layer you put them on. Okay, because if you put it in and it's on the 0 layer, it's going to have a white line around the outside. If I put it on the border line, it's going to have a big 031 line weight line around the outside of it. That's the frame. It ruins the whole picture. So if by default it's set on 1. Where the frame is displayed and it's plotted. Rarely do you want the frame plotted. Rarely. Most of the time I run this on 2, where the frame is displayed, but it will not plot the frame. Sometimes that doesn't work for me. It's something in AutoCAD. It just doesn't work every time. And in that case, I've got to switch it to 0, where I turn off the frame and I don't plot it. But if you turn off the frame, you can't edit it. Okay. So that's kind of these combos. So real quickly, to show you how this works, I'm going to go back to the computer. Now I'm going to take my picture and put it on a layer where you can see the frame. So I'll throw it on, I don't know if you can see that. How about my text layer? Okay, can you see that little cyan line I've got around the outside now? That's the frame. Now, right now, if I click it, it's treating it like an object. I can scale it, I can rotate it, I can move it. I've got grips that actually allow me to scale it proportionally, all of that. Now, image frame controls how all this works. So if you would, type in image frame and hit enter. Does it say on there that your image frame is set to 1? Okay. Now, put it to 0. Did your frame go off when you set it to 0?
Where is that at?
What's
You
that?
type in image frame.
Yeah, you got to type this. Now, setting of 0, it's not displayed and not plotted. And this version works a little different in previous versions, at least currently. I've gotten to where I really have found you have to play with this. So I can select it. I still get my grips. In older versions, you didn't even get grips. Okay, so if you're working in anything pre-2019, and it still allow me to scale, do things like that. In older versions, it's not. It's set once you turn it to 0. So that's where it's at now. It's not displayed, not printed. That's a good option to run it at. But the one thing I've also had happen on the 0 setting is that it will not plot the picture. Okay, if the frame's turned off and it's not plotting it, then it won't plot the picture. Now, it may in this version. I haven't run a test on it, okay, but it looked, they've made some changes to it. If it doesn't, just switch it to a 2. That's all you have to do. You do need to know where this is at. So image frame again, and switch it to a 2. Now I see the frame, but it won't plot it. Okay, and I've total editability, all of that. Actually, this one's now not letting me edit. Yes?
If we have it set where the frame is gone, like 0, and then we go to when it's time to print, and if we do a preview, is it going to show that it's not there?
Yeah, in the preview, it'll show you what it's trying to print. Yes. Okay. All right, so know those options because you're going to use them working with pictures. Now the next one's image clip. Okay. And again, this might be in your, it might be in your ribbons. I don't know. I just type it. I don't see anything in there that's on clipping. So I'm just going to type image clip. First thing you have to do once you hit enter, so go ahead and type image clip, hit enter. It says select the image to clip. Okay, so select it. Then it's going to say, what clipping option do you want? And this is kind of nice because it's got new boundary by default. So generally you're just going to hit enter here. You can also turn your clipping on and off. So if you don't want to clip for 1 second, you don't have to delete your clipping windows and stuff. You can just turn it off and it's still there. I'll leave that to the text. So just hit enter to go into new. By default, it wants a rectangular window, but notice there's a polygon option on there. That's probably what you're going to be using. Okay, so I'm going to hit P for polygon. Now it's wanting me to digitize. Okay, and so I just want to see this house. I don't want to see this other stuff, so I'm just going to come out here and digitize around this structure. You know, I'm thinking, hey, there might be a little bit of text or something from the internet page or whatever I was using. And I digitize around. Leave what you want to see inside the polygon. Hit enter. And it's a nice little clipping tool. Okay, you good with that? Okay. All right, I'm guessing from what I saw here, nobody went through those 2 chapters yesterday. Or if you did, you're...
We were working on a building, sorry. Forgot about that.
Go through, I'm not going to test you over this. I just had a chance to bring this information out. We're going to be using pictures and OLE objects moving forward. I probably won't slow down in lectures for these, so know how to insert them, know how to control them, and use them to a certain advantage, and then we will move forward with these. So it's time to go through them. If you have any questions as you go through the text on them, grab me, and I'd be happy to deal with you one-on-one. All right, now, to get rid of this guy, if you don't want to use it, this is an XREF, so you need to detach it. Okay? You can go ahead and delete it, and it's not there, but every time you start this thing, you're going to get a warning message saying, hey, I can't find this guy. Okay, so how do you detach an XREF? Go to your XREF manager. Type XREF, XREF. You're going to see that picture right here. Now go ahead and right-click it, and you should see a detach button. Go ahead and get rid of it all the way, or you're going to get warning things on it every time you open it. Okay? Let's take a break, that took us a while. So we're gonna take a quick break, we'll come back and deal with your pipe in your house.